Alright, so this is page 1 of the geometry final review. Some of these we've already gone over in class, some we haven't, so you can fast forward through what you need and what you don't need. And remember, you can use the review here on the final, so the more things you write down, the better off you're going to be. Okay. Alright, so number 1, we're finding distance and midpoint. So the distance formula is x2 minus x1 squared, y2 minus y1 squared. Okay, it is also on the orange poster on the back wall of the classroom if you need it. Okay. Alright, so in our ordered pairs, this first point is going to be the first x and the first y, and this is the second x and the second y. So we're just going to take those numbers and we're going to plug them into our distance formula. So this square root thing stays the same. The parenthesis, we're going to replace x2 with a -1, and then we have a subtraction sign, and we're going to replace x1 with this +3 from right there, and then a parenthesis and a square and a plus and another parenthesis. And then it says y2, so right here y2 is 10, and we're going to take away y1, which is 4. Close that and square. So you can type all of that into your calculator. Ooh, that's lovely. All right, let's see if this will work. So the square root is right here, square root, parenthesis, -1, take away 3 squared, plus 10, take away 4, and then we round that, so that says 7.2. Okay, so that's the length of AB, or the distance from A to B, 7.2. Okay. All right. Then it also asks for the midpoint. So the midpoint formula is x1 plus x2 cut in half, like the average, how far halfway between x1 and x2, and same with the y values, y1 plus y2 divided by 2. So x1 and x2 are right here, so we have a 3 plus a -1. We're going to cut that in half. And then we do the same thing for the y values, 4 plus 10, whatever that says. So the fraction, 3 plus -1 divided by 2 is a +1. And then 4 plus 10 is 14. 14 divided by 2 is 7. So our midpoint is 1, 7. Okay, so number 2 is the same thing. First thing we got to do though is figure out these ordered pairs. So to get to Q, we start here at the origin at 0, 0, and we're going to go 2 spaces to the right, which is +2, and then we're going to go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that point for Q is 2, 5. And then to get to P, we start back at the origin and always go, this is our X value, we always go side to side first. So we're going to go over 1, 2, 3 till we're on top of the P, which is a -3 to the left. And then we're going to go down 1, 2, 3, 4. Down 4 is -4. So this is going to become x1, y1, and this is x2, y2, or you can do it the other way. It doesn't really matter. It's the same thing either way. So I'm going to plug into this formula right here. It says we got our big old square root, and then we have a parenthesis, and then we're going to take whatever x2 is. So we said x2 is right here at -3. A subtraction sign between them. x1 is a +2. Close square, plus, same thing with the y values, -4, take away 5. Close that. So -3 take away 2 squared, plus negative 4 take away 5 squared. Okay, always double check that what you have written on your paper matches what went into your calculator, so when you hit enter, we know we did it right. So I'm going to round that to 10.3. And then for our midpoint, we're going to add our two x values. Sorry about that. 2 plus negative 3, cut that in half. And then 5 plus negative 4, cut that in half. 2 plus negative 3 is negative 1, divided by 2 is negative 1/2. 5 plus negative 4 is positive 1, divided by 2 is positive 1/2. Okay. Alright, so that's just the midpoint. Alright, let's switch over into some angle stuff. Alright, so number 6 says find the value of x. So we have an x value right here and an x value right here. Okay, so what can you tell me about these two angles? They are across from each other. We call them vertical angles because they make a bow tie. A really kind of wide bow tie, but that's all right. And these are going to be equal, exactly the same. Now I just wrote over my numbers there, so I hope it says 8x minus 5 and 6x plus 29. I'm pretty sure that's what it says. Okay. So I'm going to go to my calculator, menu 3-2. Sorry, the light's right above my hand. Menu 3-2. I have one equation. Oops. Hold on. Is that right? Linear solve? Hold on. Okay, let's try that again. Menu 3-2, not 21, that would be crazy. Alright. Oh my gosh, what in the world? Okay, alright, well, linear solve, there we go. So we have our one equation, we're going to type it in, 8x minus 5 equals 6x plus 29, solves for x. X equals 17. Okay. Find the value of x. Check. We found x. Great. Okay. So here on number 7, we've got these two angles. They are right beside each other. When they are right beside each other, do they have to be the same? Please say no. That is not a rule that we have learned anywhere. When they are beside each other or next to each other, we call them adjacent. These two together are going to make this straight line, and a straight line equals 180 degrees. So we're going to add the two things together, 21x minus 11 plus 7x plus 23, and together those have to add up to 180. So we type that. Okay, I'm going to tell you again, y'all need to make sure that when you're typing something into your calculator, you put it on your paper first, and then you double check and make sure that everything you typed matches, because sometimes the buttons stick, sometimes you push plus instead of minus, you never really know. Okay, x equals 6. Find the value of x. We did that. Great, we are done. Okay. Alright, number 8 says if angle A and angle B are complementary. Complementary means they're going to add to equal 90. Together they're going to make a right angle. Okay, so here are my two angles. Here's angle A, here's angle B. So we're going to add those together, and they have to equal 90. Menu 3-2. 2x plus 11 plus 10x minus 17 equals 90. Double check. Looks good. X equals 8. So the question says, find the measure of angle A. Did we find the measure of angle A? Thank you for saying no. We solved for x. So what do we know about the measure of angle A? Where is that in our problem? Right here, angle A. 2x plus 11. 2x plus 11. What did we just find out about x? It is 8. So we're going to take that x away, and in its place, we're going to put an 8. So 2 times 8 is 16, plus 11 makes 27 degrees. So that's how big angle A is. Okay. All right, number 9 says angle N and angle P are supplementary. That is also the same as linear pair. I promise y'all that is the word that's on the test. Okay, it says angle N and angle P are a linear pair. That means they're the same thing as being supplementary. It means together they're going to add up to make 180 or make a straight line, right? So I'm going to take these two angles, I'm going to add them together and put them equal to 180. It's asking me to find angle P, so I am not going to be done. Menu 3-2, oops. Okay, menu 3-2, I always forget to do one equation instead of two. Okay, so I have x plus 3 plus 7x minus 15 equals 180. X equals 24. That is not our answer. Once we know that x is 24, we want to find the measure of angle P, which is this one right here, 7 times whatever x was minus 15. So in this spot, we're going to put our value of x that we just got, which we said was 24. So I'm going to do 7 times 24 and then take away 15. The measure of angle P equals 153 degrees. Okay. Okay, so the next section reviews our special angles formed by parallel lines. So I want to go over this real quick first. So if you want to like put this around in the margins or something, like you can put it up around here maybe, or find some space for it. Again, the only thing you can use on the final is that review, so find a place to put it. Okay, so we have this transversal line that cuts through, and we have some angles here that are on alternate sides, or we have angles like this that are on the same side, right? So these are alternate, and these are same side. And then the other thing was interior or exterior. So in between here is the interior, and notice that neither of these angles are in between these two lines. So these are called exterior on the outside, alternate exterior. Okay, and these are in between here is interior, right? This is interior, so these are exterior as well, but they're on the same side, exterior. Okay, so then we have these. Okay, are these on the same side or alternate? These are alternate, and they are interior because they're on the inside. And then these are both on the left, so these are same side, interior. And the last one is when we have those two angles that are on the same side, but I have one of each, meaning we have one interior here, this one's interior, and we have this one exterior, one interior and one exterior, and we call these corresponding. Okay, that's our special name for that. So that's the one that's different. It doesn't have that alternate or same side to it. Okay, so go back and rewind a little bit if you need to draw these before we start answering the questions. I'm going to go ahead and go on for sake of time. Alright, so I'm going to color these in. It says we're going to classify the angle pairs. I apologize for the shadow here from my light above. It's just as good as I can do for right now, okay? So here's angle 1, here's angle 3. Are those same side or alternate sides? They are same side, and we have one of each. Same side, one of each. So we don't call it that, we call them corresponding, right? Yeah, my dog is on the couch. He's snoring, so if he breathes too heavy, I'll hear him too. It is not me. It is not any of my children. It's the dog. All right, 5 and 4. So here's 5. Here's 4. Are those on? Okay, so the easiest thing to do is turn these parallel lines so they are horizontal, so they go left and right. Then it's real easy to see. These are on alternate sides, and they are on the outside, like as far away as we can get. So these are called alternate exterior. Okay, next one, 6 and 7. Same side or alternate sides. Same side, and they are both on the inside, so interior for that. And then the last one is 3 and 6. 3 and 6, those are on alternate sides, and they are also on the interior. Okay. Oh, one other thing I forgot to give you here is to tell whether these are congruent or not. Alternate exterior, these are always congruent. They are always exactly the same. Same side exterior, these are supplementary, which means they add up to equal 180. They are not the same. This angle is obtuse. This angle is acute. Therefore, they are not the same, and they will add up to 180. Okay, so here, alternate interior, these are the ones that make my favorite letter, Z. Okay, these are congruent. Same side interior, this one's little, this one's big. Those cannot ever be the same, so these are supplementary, equal up to 180. And the last one, corresponding, little, little, corresponding are always congruent. Okay. All right, so we're going to need that here for number 11. On this one, they tell us that all 3 of these lines are parallel. Okay, angle 9 is, let me do this. Okay, I'm just going to label up this picture. Actually, you know what? I'm going to do it on another sheet of paper because this is really tiny. Okay, let's see. Let me do it like this. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so they tell us that angle 9 right here is 76 degrees. Angle 9. Okay, so what else do we know? From that, we know that 11 is a vertical angle. They make a bow tie to each other. So these two angles are going to be exactly the same, right? What other angles are the same as those 76s? Okay, angle 5 is the same as angle 9. These are corresponding. They're in that same corner. They're both going to be 76, which means that 7 is also going to be 76 because those make a linear pair to each other. Okay, same thing over here, 1 and 3. So all of these are 76 all the way across. Okay, which leaves us the rest of these. So notice that the angle 2 and angle 4, those are vertical angles. They're the same. Angle 6, angle 8, angle 10, angle 12. All of those are exactly the same. So the question is, how do we figure out that number? Okay, well, what do we know about these two angles that are right beside each other? 9 and 10. What do those two together have to make? This straight line equals 180. So we've already got 76 of our 180. So that's going to leave us with 104. So all of these that I colored in orange are going to be 104. Okay, every single one. All right. So how can we mark that here? Maybe put a little single curve here on all of these. We'll put 76 on all of them. I'm not going to write it in on all of them. So 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, it's not there, 11. Okay, and then we did 180 take away 76 to get 104 for all the rest of these. Okay, good enough. All right, number 12. If P is parallel to Q, if these lines are parallel, solve for X. All right, so we have a little arrow right here, so that's this angle. I would color that in, and then they give us this angle right here. What do we know about those corners? Are they on the same side of our parallel lines? So I'm going to turn these parallel lines so they're left to right. Then here's my transversal. These are same side, interior, one exterior. These are corresponding. And what do we know about corresponding angles? Another paper here. Corresponding angles are congruent. They are the same. So these two angles, 11x minus 5 equals 7x plus 27. Okay. Type. Calculator. Whatever. 32 divided by 4. X is 8. No. Yeah, X is 8. 27 plus 5 divided by 4. Yeah. Okay, solve for X. Great. Okay, what about 13? Alright, so this has a 9x plus 3 here and a 4x plus 5. Okay, are those angles the same? Please say no. Please say no. This one is acute and this one is obtuse. There is no way that those are ever going to be equal. One is big, one is little. They are not the same. Okay, but together these are same side interior. They are going to be supplementary, so we're going to add them up to equal 180. 9x plus 3 plus 4x minus 5 equals 180. Okay, I'm not even going to solve that for X. That's fine. Y'all can type that in your calculator. Alright, 14. Let's see. It says solve for X and solve for Y. So I see two X values and I see one Y value. So I'm going to start with the X's. Okay, so here's one X value. Here's the other X value. Okay, those to me look like they are alternate exterior, and on our paper we said alternate exterior should be congruent, so we'll have 13x minus 27 equals 10x plus 6. We type that into our calculator. We are going to get x equal to 11. 33, yep. Alright, so now we're going to solve for y. Okay, so what I notice is that these two angles right here, do you see these two angles right here? They are right beside each other. And together they make this straight line. So these two angles right here are going to have to equal up to 180. Right? They're right beside each other. So if I can figure out how big this first one is, because I know that x is 11, so this is going to be 10 times 11 plus 6, which is 116. Then this 116 plus the rest of this has to equal 180. So 116 plus 9y plus 19 equals 180. So 116 plus 19 oops, not 19, plus 9y, oops, I got to change this to an x though, right? My calculator is set to solve for x. So I'm going to type this in as x. 9x plus 19 equals 180. Y equals 5. Awesome. X is 11, y is 5. Okay, and the last two on this page give the slopes of lines that are parallel and perpendicular. All right, parallel slopes are the same. So exactly the same. So the slope of this line goes down. So this slope is negative. Okay, so it's going to go down 1 and over 1, 2, 3, 4. So this goes down 1 and over 4. So negative 1 over 4. Okay, the perpendicular is the opposite reciprocal. So we're going to change this from a negative to a positive, and we're going to reciprocate or do the reciprocal of this 4 over 1, which means we flip it, or sorry, 1 over 4, which flips to 4 over 1. Okay, so if I were to graph that, if I were to just pick a point anywhere, and I graph a slope of 4 over 1, up 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, over 1. When I connect those, do you see how those two lines now are perpendicular to each other? They make a right angle. Great. Okay. Oh, what's this? This line is a vertical line. A vertical line has no slope. This is undefined. Okay. And the perpendicular to it is going to be some sort of horizontal line, which has a slope of 0. Okay, horizontal is 0, vertical is undefined. Every single time, never changes. All right, so that is page 1. I'm going to push stop, and I will move to page 2. Hey, I thank you for doing this. Okay, make sure you have all 3 pages done. Bring it with you on the day of the final. Y'all gonna be in a good place, okay? All right, love you, bye.